Stepney, the Bluebell engine, works closely with his friend Rusty. One day Sir Topham Hatt came to see him. "Rusty tells me you're in need of a change, so I want you to help Toby and Mavis in the quarry." "Oh, thank you, sir," said Stepney. "Shall I be away long?" "Just today. But please be careful. It is easy to get lost up there, so be back before dark." "We will," said the driver. Stepney soon arrived at the quarry. "We're glad you're here to help us," said Toby. "Are these my cars?" asked Stepney. "Only some of them. There's masses more in the sidings," replied Mavis. "The more the merrier." Stepney was really enjoying himself. The dustier he became, the harder he worked. Mavis and Toby were impressed. Then the foreman spoke to his driver. "We have a night special to take to the building site at the new branch line. Do you want to pull the train?" "Yes, please," said the driver. But he should have asked Sir Topham Hatt first. Night came. "Be careful, Stepney," advised Toby. "I will, and thank you for a lovely day. I do hope I can come back again." "The line can be spooky," said Mavis. "Thank you for the warning." And with that, Stepney puffed away. Stepney arrived on time and made the delivery of rocks and stones for the workmen. Then he set off for home. That's when the trouble began. The fog came down. Mavis was right. Suddenly everything does look spooky. "There's a signal box," called his driver. "And the signal light is green. Someone must have been expecting us." But they weren't. The points had been set in the wrong direction. But Stepney didn't realize this. "Home, here we come!" Then they approached an unknown area. The driver made a decision. "It's best if we rest here until the fog clears." "What are those strange sounds?" wondered Stepney. Then the fog slowly lifted. "Oh no! We're in the scrap yards!" His driver and firemen went for help. Stepney was all alone, but not for long. 2 diesels approached. "Got you this time, Stepney. You'll make very fine scrap indeed. Buffer 'em, Bert." The diesels took him to the large smelter shed. Bye-bye, Stepney. Stepney looked up. Above him was a huge grabber. "This engine's not for scrapping!" The grabber wasn't listening. But just as it was about to grab hold of him, it stopped. There stood Sir Topham Hatt. "It's a good thing I'm visiting this yard tonight. Saving you from scrap is becoming a habit, Stepney. Please stop it." "Yes, sir. But I have learned something." "What's that?" "There's no place like home." "And that's exactly where you're going now." Bluebells forever! One morning, Sir Topham Hatt and his grandchildren came to see Toby. "Come on, Toby. We're all going to the seaside. We will ride in Henrietta." "Yes, sir," said Toby happily. They came to a small seaside station. Soon the children were playing in the sand, building a splendid castle. Sir Topham Hatt inspected it. "My word, it's a very fine castle. Have you seen a real one like it?" "Yes," replied the children. "It's here on the island," and they showed him a map. Pondered Sir Topham Hatt. They met Toby at the harbor. "Come along, we are going exploring." Soon they were in the wildest part of the island. They stopped by a lonely signal box. "Where are you going?" asked the signalman. "We're trying to find an old castle." "I know the place, sir," said the signalman. "There's a small junction not too far down the line. Just switch the points." When the firemen switched the points, their adventure really began. Toby pushed past branches and bushes until they came to another little junction. There they saw two signs saying, "To the castle" and "To the mine." "We'll go to the castle first." Toby stopped by an old water tower. "There's the castle." "Yes," replied Sir Topham Hatt. "And now we shall visit the mine." Once upon a time, the mine had been worked by the little engines, and their lines were still in place. But now everything was very rusty and overgrown. Sir Topham Hatt was most impressed, but Toby was rather scared. He was glad when it was time to go home. "I think the castle and the mine will make a fine place for visitors, but it will take some hard work first." "Yes, sir," said Toby nervously. Sir Topham Hatt's plans were soon put into action, but Toby was still worried. "I'm sure this place is haunted," he thought. "It's our turn to stay here on guard tonight, Toby." "Oh, yes, why not?" stuttered Toby. "Beware of the ghost, Toby," Thomas said. "What ghost?" asked Toby. "The old warrior ghost. Every night he lights his fire, then goes hunting. Toot toot! Goodbye." Night came. Toby looked anxiously around. Everything seemed rather spooky. Quite suddenly, he heard a strange wheezing sound. "It's the ghost!" he wailed. "What ghost?" his driver asked. "It's the old warrior." He's come to hunt me down. Don't be so daft. We'll go and investigate. They returned quite soon. The old warrior wants to meet you, laughed his fireman. Can't it wait till morning? Replied Toby. Ghosts don't work day shifts, said his driver. Toby bravely made his way. Well, bless my bell, he exclaimed. There, in front of him, was a little old engine. This is your ghost, Toby, said the signalman. His name's really Bertram, but we call him the Old Warrior because he's so brave. Bertram and Toby are now friends. They take the visitors to the castle and the mine. If there are any ghosts here, they certainly help to make the place very happy.
Thomas and Fergus the traction engine are friends. Fergus is the pride of the cement works. Fergus knows all the rules and obeys them. One day, Sir Topham Hatt brought Devious Diesel to the cement works. I need Diesel to help for a while. Fergus, please show him around. Yes, said Fergus unhappily. He knew that Diesel could be trouble. Later, Diesel was being careless. Not like that, snapped Fergus. Do it right. Don't interfere, sneered Diesel. You don't know the rules, shouted Fergus. Diesel was very annoyed with Fergus and started plotting a devious plan. Later that day, he pretended to have news for Fergus. Sir Topham Hatt wants you to work at the smelters. Me? But I'm the pride of the cement works. Not anymore. Sir Topham Hatt says I'm better than you, so I'm going to stay here. It's not fair. I love working here. But he knew that really useful engines have to do as they are told. Fergus and his driver arrived at the smelters. I want to go back to the cement works, wailed Fergus. None of the other engines like coming here. It's so scary. You're right, said his driver. Just then, the scrap diesels arrived. Hello, are you happy to be here? No! Cried Fergus. His driver was scared too. Come on, Fergus, we're going to escape. And for the first time, Fergus broke the rules. Sir Topham Hatt was enjoying a tasty fish supper when he heard that Fergus was missing. That's not like Fergus. There must be something wrong. I will send Thomas to look for him. Fergus and his driver turned onto an unused track to find a place to hide. Fergus was frightened. So was Thomas. He puffed up and down the line. He couldn't see Fergus anywhere. We could search the old mine track, said his driver. That line is dark and spooky, whispered Thomas. But he had to be brave and find Fergus. Fergus was on a siding. His fire had gone out. Then he heard a sound. It's an engine, he cried. Fergus, whistled Thomas. Whatever are you doing out here? Hiding. Don't want to work at the smelters. Sir Topham Hatt is going to be cross with me. He's not, cried Thomas. He's worried about you. Really? Of course, Puff Thomas. Fergus felt better. Thomas pulled Fergus all the way to the smelter's yard. Where he knew Sir Topham Hatt was waiting. Fergus, explain yourself.
I ran away. It's scary here. Diesel told Fergus that you wanted him at the smelters forever.
Nonsense, Fergus. You are the pride of the cement works. I shall send Diesel to the smelters, and you can go back to the cement works tomorrow.
Oh, thank you, sir,
said Fergus happily. Fergus knew he had a good friend in Thomas, and he was still the pride of the cement works.
There once was an engine who ran away, just up and went. Ran away, stacked up his tender and headed on the line. Toot toot,
Farewell, goodbye. You overheard the wicked old Diesel say he was heading for the scrapyard any day.
he didn't want to wait for the fateful days.
So the little old engine ran away. He huffed and he puffed, his wheels started turning. He chuffed and he chuffed as if the firebox burning. He slipped his brake, then his whistle cried. Toot toot, farewell, goodbye. And the little old engine ran away. Just up and went, and ran away.
Didn't feel part of the railway.
So the little old engine ran away. When the other engines heard he'd gone, they felt so sad 'cause they knew he had got it wrong. No matter what Diesel had to say, Sir Topham Hatt has the final say.
So he thought and he thought, where could he be, could he go?
Some search high, the other search low.
Where did he roam, where did he roam? Gotta bring a little engine home. So they all went out to look around.
Far and wide, and up and down.
No matter where they searched, no one seemed to know. Where did the little old engine go?
Thomas finally tracked him down. He was cold and blue, and all alone.
He told him he was needed back urgently.
Who, me? Really? Yes, you silly engine.
'Cause he's the pride of the railway. So he huffed and he puffed, his wheels started turning. He chuffed and he chuffed, the little firebox burning. He slipped his brake and he was on his way.
Toot toot, hip hip, hooray!
Now the little old engine's heading home. Toots and cheers, every whistle's blown. 'Cause now he's pride of the railway.
Look, everybody, here comes Fergus! Hooray!
Yes, the little old engine's coming home.
It was a beautiful day on the island of Sodor. Donald and Douglas are Scottish twins. They enjoy working on Sir Topham Hatt's railway. But sometimes they long for Scotland, their old home. One day, Sir Topham Hatt called them to the docks. Lord Callan's castle is finally reopening. There is to be a grand celebration tomorrow. I need you to take the banners, bunting, and bagpipes to the castle. Harvey, you must load them straight away. Yes, sir, chuffed Harvey. The twins were excited. Going to Lord Callan's castle would be like going home again. Soon, Harvey had finished loading the freight.
Where are you going?
Asked Percy. Lord Callan's castle, Donald proudly announced. By Castle Lock. I'm glad I'm not going to Castle Lock, wheezed Percy nervously. Scared the monster might get you, teased Douglas. He might, said Donald. There's no monster. There is too. There is not,
He's two. He's not. He's two. Lord Cannon's castle is in Misty Valley. Donald and Douglas were determined to get the important goods to the castle in time. They puffed proudly around the lock towards their destination. "There it is!" cried Donald. "We're almost there!" shouted Douglas. But there was trouble ahead. Trees had fallen across the line. Donald and Douglas stopped just in time. Then, suddenly, there was a loud crash. The brake van had been hit by a landslide and come off the rails. They were stuck. "We could take the causeway," said Donald's driver. Douglas's driver knew the causeway was old and rickety. "It's too dangerous," he said. The twins were worried. "We'll never get to the castle now," chuffed Donald. "I'll call for help." "Splendid outfit, sir." Sir Topham Hatt was trying on his present from Lord Callan when he heard the news. "Donald and Douglas trapped by the lock," he said. "I'll send help as soon as I can." But the hours passed. It grew dark and cold. And still no help had come. Suddenly, the twins spotted something strange through the mist. "What's that?" called Donald. "Is it the monster?" cried Douglas. "For sure it is," answered Donald. "It's not a monster, it's us." It was Harvey and the breakdown crane. Donald and Douglas were relieved. By morning, the lines were clear. Donald and Douglas hurried off to the castle. Lord Callan's workers were waiting to unload the freight cars. Soon the castle was decorated. The grand opening was a great success. Lord Callan was pleased. "A splendid pair of engines!" "And very useful," added Sir Topham Hatt. "Och, hey!" agreed the twins. All the engines on Sir Topham Hatt's railway looked different. Can you tell who this is? This engine has 2 big pairs of wheels, 5 small pairs of wheels, and a tall, thin funnel. What else can we see on this engine? It's the number 2. Can you remember which of Sir Topham Hatt's engines is number 2? Here's another clue. This engine is a beautiful bright blue color. Only one engine on Sodor has all those wheels, is blue, and wears the number 2. Do you know who it is? That's right. It's Edward. Hello, Edward.